The story getting a lot of attention. Lil Nas X made his first court appearance following a bizarre incident down Ventura Boulevard and his subsequent arrest.
The singer pleaded not guilty to felony charges.
Feared, he's all right. He's very remorseful for what happened.
Is a crappy place to be.
That was terrifying.
4 felony charges, a hospital stay, a brief, candid message saying, "That was terrifying, but I'm going to be all right." Tonight, we're unpacking Lil Nas X's first words since the incident that put him behind bars and on every timeline. What happened on Ventura Boulevard, what the judge decided, what his family and lawyer said outside the courthouse, and what this means for the next chapter of his career. No fluff, no reckless claims, just what's confirmed, what's developing, and where this story realistically goes from here. By the end, you'll have the clean timeline, the legal stakes, and the context that actually matters.
Nah. Hey, don't be late to the party tonight.
Where at?
You know where it's at. Nah, go ahead, babe. Nah. Go ahead, babe. Nah.
A 415 Mad News running to the officers.
And what Lil Nas said, nah. Go ahead, babe. He ate that shit. He ate that so bad.
The timeline starts on August 21st in Los Angeles. Lil Nas X, Montero Lamar Hill, was reportedly seen walking on Ventura Boulevard undressed. Police responded, contact was made, and an altercation allegedly followed. He was arrested and then hospitalized. That's the core chain of events to keep in your head as you sort through the noise. Afterward, social feeds were flooded with clips, takes, and recycled footage, some real and some not. Strip it back and remember the essentials: an arrest, a hospital visit, and later, a court appearance. Everything else gets measured against on-the-record statements and official filings instead of internet volume.
Your girl is gonna be okay, you all. Okay? She's gonna be all right. She's gonna be all right. That was terrifying.
On August 26th, he spoke directly to fans in a brief Instagram story after what he called 4 terrifying days. The message was simple. Your girl's going to be okay, y'all. She's going to be all right. No long explanation, no dramatic monologue. Just a human check-in after a rough stretch. For an artist who often commands attention with humor and spectacle, this landed differently, straightforward and vulnerable. It wasn't a rollout or a teaser for music. It was a status update that said, "I'm here, I'm shaken, and I'm going to be okay."
Cause my money ain't. Let me get this straight. Wait, I'm the rookie? But my features and my shows 10 times your pay. 50K for a verse, no album.
We don't know what happened. Right now, there's nothing in the record that drugs were even a part of this.
In his court appearance, he entered a not guilty plea to 4 felony counts. 3 counts of battery with injury on a police officer and 1 count of resisting arrest. A plea is not a verdict. It's a formal position that triggers the legal process. From here, discovery begins, evidence is exchanged, motions are filed, and calendars are set. This is the part the internet hates because it moves slowly on purpose. The system tests claims, weighs proof, and builds a record. So when online discourse sprints, remember the official process walks, and that's where real outcomes are decided.
Uh-oh, somebody's gonna have to pay for that.
The judge set bail at $75,000 and added a key condition: attend 4 Narcotics Anonymous meetings each week or enroll in an outpatient program. That condition matters. It doesn't declare a diagnosis. It establishes immediate structure and accountability. Courts often include wellness-oriented requirements after a high-stress public incident where judgment and safety were in question. Think of it as scaffolding, support that reduces risk while the case proceeds. The message is clear: release with structure, not a free pass.
And his next court appearance is scheduled for next month in September. Reporting live from the Van Nuys Courthouse.
The next court date is scheduled for September 15th. Between now and then, the smartest strategy is the quietest one. Meet every condition exactly, avoid legal specifics on social media, and let counsel handle the filings. You might want daily commentary, but cases like this reward patience and discipline. That short Instagram story served as a pressure release and a baseline update. Expect the next meaningful moves to appear in court records, not as long posts or live streams. Compliance first, then resolution. Inside the hearing, the picture was subdued and procedural. He appeared in a blue jail uniform, listened as the court discussed the case, and conferred with his attorney. Courtrooms are designed to be controlled and unsentimental. They're not stages, and they don't adjust to celebrity. Moments like this tend to reset the public mood. Jokes fade, concern rises, and attention shifts from memes to measurable steps. What are the conditions? What is the timeline? What's required next?
Fear, he's all right. He's very remorseful for what happened, but it can happen to any family, He's going to get the help that he needs, and just keep him in your prayers, Give him the same grace and mercy that God give everyone. Fear, he's all right. He's very remorseful for what happened, but it can happen to any family, He's going to get the help that he needs, and just keep him in your prayers, Give him the same grace and mercy that God give everyone.
Is a crappy place to be, but I think it is really a moment when you realize, you have to address whatever happened. But at the same time, he knows there's an outpouring of support and love for him, and that's going to make anybody feel good at their darkest day, because this has to be his darkest day right now.
Outside the courthouse, two voices framed the day. His father, Robert Stafford, expressed remorse on his son's behalf, emphasized that help is being sought, and asked for prayers and grace. His attorney, Drew Findling, noted the pressures of being 26 and internationally recognized, and said a supportive team is being assembled around him to stabilize the situation. There weren't excuses in those messages. There was a plan to handle both the human side and the legal side at the same time, because both matter if the goal is accountability and recovery. Let's talk about pressure without mistaking it for permission. Fame compresses the distance between impulse and audience. A shocking street moment becomes a viral clip in minutes. That reality doesn't change the rules, it speeds up the consequences. The healthiest path forward pairs responsibility with care. Accept the process, follow the conditions, and build systems that make better choices easier the next time stress spikes. If you're rooting for him, you can root for both accountability and growth without turning it into a win-lose debate.
Lil Nas X was silently canceled, and that's what probably led to all this. So Lil Nas X was seen walking down the street in Los Angeles way early this morning in his white drawers, and then he attacked a cop, and then he was taken to the hospital for a psych eval, and then he was arrested and taken to jail. And the reason why I say that he was silently canceled is because, of course, Lil Nas X came out after he made his debut album, and then following that album, he released the song Montero, which he had a lot of symbolic shit in it. I mean, just everything was in that video. Then shortly after that, he had those little Nike Air Max shoes, which had a drop of human blood and the little air pocket part of it. And a lot of people let that go. A lot of people supported Lil Nas X. They let it go. It was like, hey, it is what it is at that point. But then in 2024, he came out with a new music video called J. Christ, in which he was on a cross and he mocked Jesus Christ himself. And he also had depictions of Lucifer in that video. And I think that's when people had it. They were done with the shock value. They were done with all of the crazy images that he was just so, pushing so hard to put out. And Lil Nas X EP, Days Before Dream Boy, which is supposed to precede his 2025 release second album, Dream Boy, didn't do too bad, but it didn't do as well as he anticipated. And it was rumored that Columbia Records wanted him to scrap the entire idea of his newly released album to come out in 2025. We don't even know if it's still coming out. Dream Boy, for whatever reasons, he's having some difficulties with the record label. But I think due to all of the antics that Lil Nas X had within the past 3.5 years, people just silently canceled him. They just silently, weren't entertained by all of the performative things that he was doing in order to gain and garner that attraction and that attention that he was trying to gain for himself. He also did a video earlier, this year, I believe it was, or last year, where he called it his flop era. So he has acknowledged that he is not doing too well when it comes to his music career. But at the end of the day, I just hope he gets the help he needs. And I hope things turn around and he sees what mistakes.
At first, when everyone was hearing about this, they were thinking that this was just some silly music promo because the videos of him walking in the street kind of felt on par with him doing very memeable things in the past. Plus, he had just wiped his entire Instagram and started posting what looked to be teasers to new music. Fans are anticipating the drop of his second album, Dream Boy, so they figured this must mean that it was coming soon. But now, things just seem way more serious about the situation that I don't think it's music promo.
The fandom is split. Some people frame this as performance pushed too far. Others see a young star in crisis. Both readings are common in modern pop culture. But this story has 3 lanes that rarely move together. A legal lane that requires evidence, a wellness lane that requires routine, and a public lane that wants answers now. On this channel, we keep those lanes separate. The legal lane determines what happened on August 21st. The wellness lane determines whether healthier habits take hold. The public lane can wait for confirmed developments before rewriting the narrative. What does 4 NA meetings a week or outpatient look like in real life? Structure, check-ins, and community. You show up, you listen. You speak honestly when it's your turn. You put routine above mood. If he commits to that, those quiet hours can become the hinge that turns this from a spiral into a rebuild. Plenty of artists have stacked small, consistent wins in programs like this, then returned with clearer voices, steadier teams, and stronger boundaries. It isn't glamorous, but it is effective, especially when the rest of life is loud. Legally, watch 3 threads as we approach the next date. First, compliance. Are all meetings attended and documented, and are court orders followed to the letter? Second, negotiation. Do filings hint at diversion options, treatment-aligned outcomes, or charge adjustments? Those aren't promises, but they're tools that exist when courts emphasize stability and health. Third, public tone. Are statements measured, respectful, and free of details that belong in filings? When compliance, negotiation, and tone line up, cases like this often de-escalate quickly. Career-wise, risk managers read signals. Partners, brands, and collaborators look for steadiness. Is the team organized? Is the schedule calm? Are there fewer headlines and more quiet? A clean, uneventful stretch, meeting conditions, lowering noise, focusing on health, can preserve opportunities that chaos would crush. The wrong impulse at the wrong time does the opposite. For the next few weeks, think reputation triage. Each choice either cools the fire or feeds it. Cooling the fire is the better strategy if the goal is longevity. Media literacy matters here. Prioritize primary sources, court calendars, filings, on-the-record quotes, and the artist's own statements. Check dates on any video or screenshot before you share it. Be wary of recycled clips labeled breaking to farm engagement. Match quotes to reputable outlets. If a claim rests on a friend of a friend, treat it like entertainment, not evidence. On this channel, we'll keep receipts clear and label speculation as exactly that. You deserve updates you can repeat without second-guessing later. What are the likely beats before September 15th? Expect minimal direct commentary from him, occasional updates from counsel, and administrative filings that map the road ahead, motions, discovery notes, and scheduling entries. If creative teases appear, they'll likely be subtle because the priority is routine over spectacle. The most important storyline right now is simple. Do the work the court set out consistently, keep the temperature down publicly, and give the legal side the space it needs to reach a solution. Here's the recap, clean and clear. An arrest on August 21st after reports he was walking on Ventura Boulevard undressed and allegedly resisted officers, a hospital stay, a not guilty plea to 4 felonies. Bail set at $75,000 with a requirement to attend 4 NA meetings per week or enroll in an outpatient program. A next court date on September 15th. A short message to fans acknowledging a terrifying 4 days and promising he'll be all right. A father asking for grace. A lawyer building a support structure. From here, the path forward is steady, not flashy. Meet the conditions, respect the process, and rebuild step by step. That is how a crisis turns into a turning point instead of a collapse. For grounded, timely celebrity coverage without the noise, subscribe to HushBuzzz and turn on notifications so you get confirmed updates the moment they drop.